Okay, cheers for checking out this video, guys. This is a little bit of a walkthrough through Ableton on the S.N.U.S track You're the Best. This is from our 5th EP on Parallel Refractions, Black EP, part of a colour numbered series. Great feedback that we've had from DJs, from Tasha, India Jordan, Scream, Robert Owens. One of the first tracks got on Tasha's BBC Essential Mix, so we're kind of getting some alright props, enjoying making some good tunes and sharing the disco vibes from our studio. This is a little bit of a walkthrough. We thought we'd do one of our tracks to promote the current EP. This is relatively a simple track, probably an easy one to break down and shown about how things need to be effective. It's pretty much based around a 1-bar loop, and that is just simple 1-bar repeating bass line. It's then got a 2-bar pattern on the guitar, and a vocal refrain, and then the rest is basically just drums and little effects and little tweaks to get a vibe going. I'll play the track now. Go from the start. Basically you hear a little bit of a vocal sample and a chucker of the guitar. If you look on the master, quite bass heavy, take a little nip in here around 400 Hz. I can remove a bit of boxiness. The release has been mastered, but here just use T-Rax as a classic multiband, set it on a 30-inch tape setting, and then tweak around with some of the frequencies on the bass and the mid crossover and how much you drive it, and that kind of gives a real sense, something close to where you would get in mastering. Use TR5 from T-Rex metering tool, and this just gives us a feel of where things are sitting. If I move this into more of the track, start to look for the high peaks and the bass end peaks kicking in at a similar frequency. Not too much about these peaks levels now because this is just boosted. During the track we'll be looking here for what the stereo spread is, and then we'll also try checking the track on mono, make sure it doesn't lose the energy, and still things are cut through. The reason for checking that in mono is that's how club systems are set up, and so you want to see that there's no phasing, particularly in the lower end. So we'll move that off. On the drums, basically what I've got here on this track, zoom in too much, claps, simple sample on the kick. So and that we've filtered it off a little bit, pushing fully out, and the OSR filter in Ableton kind of gives something, I believe it's like more like a sequential circuits, just adds a little bit of coloration again on the auto filter, and there's some filtering out that rises up through the track on that. And then hat pattern, relatively we've lifted the groove here from Fool's Gold, Stone Roses. There may be a break in this track that has a passing resemblance to the drum beat of Fool's Gold, which is laid over top of our own drums. What's on here? This is a little bit of a snare roll, just a 909 snare, and again this one's got no groove on it, but quite often generally try and stack the grooves, so when you get one groove that works in a track, you want to make sure everything else aligns with it. Got a bass loop, so if I pull in how many bars is that? 4. If I pull in a 4-bar loop here, so here's a bit of there's a looped up vocal sample that we took out of a sampling pack, and that just gives a little bit of a top end. Click onto that. See, running through a de-esser, and if I can isolate that. Got a de-esser on there, then use Valhalla Space, deep chorus sound. Quite often, to be honest, it's good just to start presets and then tweak, get preset that's somewhere near the type of effect that you want, and then tweak it manually. It's got a bit of saturation on here, soft side, adds a really nice bit of body, then run through the auto filter and the compressor. Basically the compressor is side chain to the beat, ending like that, going to side chain just to get it pumping with a track. At this point there's no none of our drum beat in there. Fine. And that comes in at 8 points, and a lot of this is basically we will build up a groove and get everything working over in 8 bars, and then you sequence it out and then you drop parts in and out. So you'll see here we start someone's going to tease the track in with a DJ. This part is really again just top end, a little bit more end, starting to include some percussion. This track really is all about a continuous groove that gets you moving and you just lock into, and so we're really just dropping elements in and out of the track, and then you come to the breakdown, we strip it all out. Got the vocal that's evocative, and then you just so feel at this point here, if we go into the guitar, there's a little bit of a sample in here, looped it up, that runs through some saturation, chorus, a little bit of filter, and then we're EQing it off here and managing the gain. Basically all the stuff is managed off against the drums, and so we've set this -5 dB, and then everything will be leveled against that to make the drums the most prominent part, and then you end up with about -6 dB on the master channel. That can then go off to mastering, and on here this track is pretty much all the effects are in Ableton. You can do real pro quality sounds. This is a drum rack we call it here, class it as audio effects. It's basically their drum bus, and this gives you drive, and you can emulate a lot of what you would get on an MPC. Bit crush it down with a crunch setting, add some boom on the bottom end. Your transients will accent the change as different sounds come in, so it's really good for making the high frequencies cut through and the bottom end punch. And then again, we've had a bit of EQ on this, and then out in the utility, mixed in key, great little plug-in for just checking everything's fitting in with your main key and you haven't done anything a bit strange, and getting the sound of any sample you may have lifted or used in a track and create a collage. Overdub, this is setting on a little bit of a snippet. These are all little snippets of the vocal that are just dotted out to pepper the track, and basically it just rolls. So these are all just 16 bar sections where the vocal drops in, and then the track grooves along, and we bring in percussion in and out, and then we build it up, and then basically you're out to the end, and there's plenty to mix in. So it's not a track that is going to be like a blower at peak time, but it's going to add a real lot of energy to lift a set and get everyone heads down dancing. Hope you enjoyed this. I think that pretty much covers it. Yeah, just I guess look at this bass loops here. Again, using EQ, saturation, filtering, compression. Really everything's either in the original sound or you are adding one single effect that adds the extra shine and coolness to it, and then you're just EQing it to make it all fit in the frequency wall of the project. Cool, hope you enjoy this. Check out the EP, check out our back catalogue, and look forward to your comments in the comments below, and if you like it, we'll maybe do some more. Enjoy.